Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Operation Arsenal. Today, we lost to Man City. No surprise there. I think we were all expecting that as Arsenal fans, probably the whole world. You know, any fan would have expected Arsenal to drop all points against Man City. Where do I start? So this is one of those games where going into it, I kind of felt like it's a loss. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't embarrass yourself, basically, is what I was thinking. Don't come away with this result being a 4-0, a 4-1, you know, something bad like beforehand. To come away with a 1-0 loss really isn't too bad. Just look at Man City's last 15 results. I mean, yeah, they're a machine. They're an absolute machine. They didn't even get into second gear today, and they were still much, much better than us. Well, at least for most of the game. There were periods where we did okay, but we're just like, no, look, I'm going to show you something. Let me just bring this up because if I go into the bench, for example, or on the bench, I don't know if you should be able to see this. Look at their bench and tell me which players don't get into the Arsenal lineup. The first team, I'm saying. Kyle Walker does. I mean, Stefan, whatever his name is, don't think so. Leno's better than him. We'll give City that one. I'm afraid you can't have the keeper. Kyle Walker does. Jesus does. Aguero, when he's fit, yeah, I mean, one of the best strikers of all time in the Premier League. We've got Laporte, instantly gets in the team. Rodri gets in the team. Ferran Torres arguably would get into this team at the moment. Mendy, maybe not when Tierney is playing well. Phil Foden gets in the team most likely as well. It's remarkable that you could argue that Man City's bench is better than Arsenal's first team. I mean, can I just have a second? That's kind of worrying, isn't it? We are nowhere near competing with these top teams in the Premier League. And someone asked me in my stream, again, thank you to anyone who came out, link below if you want to watch the next one. He said, are Arsenal a top 4 team anymore? Or even, I think it was top 6, he said. Are Arsenal a top 6 team? And I said, yeah, we're a top 6 club, but we're not a top 6 team. Does anyone disagree with that? I think that's the best way to explain where we are as a club right now. We have a club with a massive reputation. We're a top 6, maybe a top 4 club in the Premier League. We are. It's Arsenal Football Club. We're massive. Well, we were. But in terms of the team, no, we're miles off. Unfortunately, we are nowhere near a top 4 side at the moment. Watching Leicester today, Manchester United, in the last few weeks have been incredible. I know Liverpool is struggling at the moment, but we can all agree that bar the injuries and some bad luck, they'd still be right up there. And then, of course, Man City, I mean, it's ridiculous. Just look at their team and then look at ours. We're so far off. But do you know what annoyed me the most today? Ask yourself this, Arsenal fans. What's the difference between at 1-0 up, going right at them at the end of the game? We're going for that one last attack. We're throwing all our players forward. We're just going for it. They get the ball, come down and score 2-0. End of the game, right? What's the difference between that and what we've just had now? Not much, right? Because you'd be saying, at least we went for it. At the end of the game, we went for it. We tried to get that equaliser. It just felt like we were okay with the 1-0 loss. And don't get me started on the first goal. I mean, we conceded in 1 minute 20 something. We didn't even last a minute and a half. And that really bothers me because, there's the argument that it's okay, it's early in the game, you've got the rest of the match to score. But for me, it just sets the tone. It's kind of a, go on then, have a go. Go on, City. You've taken 90 seconds to break us down already. Go for it. That's kind of the signal you're sending out by conceding so early. And the goal, Sterling. What is he, 5'5", 5'6"? He's teeny. He's a teeny little man. He's literally like here on me, okay? And I'm not 6'5" or anything. I'm 6'1". Like, I'm not even that big. But honestly, right, Sterling is a teeny man. Incredible player. That's why he's a winger. He's so difficult to track down. He's so quick. He's skillful. But my God, heading is not up there as Sterling's best footballing ability. It's probably his weakest part of his game. I reckon he would say that himself, or defending. But you know what I mean? He's teeny. How is Sterling in the I mean, 1 minute 20 something into the game. How is he, unmarked in the box, scoring a header? It's actually mind blowing. And I'm sitting here watching this thinking, why? Why? We conceded early against Aston Villa, and that set us up for failure for the rest of that game. And we've just done it against City, and that was the goal that won them the game. And they never needed to go for it anymore. They never needed to jump into second gear, third gear, and put the game to bed with a second and third goal. They never needed to. They didn't even look like they cared about scoring again. They had the game done. Which is... Oh, that's frustrating because, it's 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute game, and we throw it away so early. I knew as soon as that goal went in, we were in for a little bit of a tricky afternoon. But to the credit of the team, in fairness, we held on to a 1-0 loss, and that isn't, in the scheme of things, too bad, okay? Best team in Europe right now, best team in England, no doubt. 1-0 loss after conceding after a minute. A few years ago, I would have laughed at that. I would have said, no, we'll lose 5-0. We would crumble. So I give the team a little bit of credit for kind of refocusing. And do you know what? Defensively, we weren't too bad. I thought Mari had a decent game. Don't forget, we went with a completely different back four pretty much. We had Tierney come back in, Mari come back in, Holding come back in. That's 3 players that didn't play the last game. Tierney's been out for weeks, Mari's been out for weeks, and just throwing them into the deep end against one of the best teams, one of the best attacking teams. Yeah, you're asking for a bit of trouble. So they did really well. We'll talk about Bellerin, shall we? Every week, every game, this comes up, and I feel bad because I don't want to constantly just jab at Bellerin. I don't know if it's going to work, man. I love Bellerin as a man, as a professional. He does a lot for the club off the pitch. He's a leader. He's a great player to have in the changing room. People say that he's just so well respected. He's the longest serving player at the club, and I remember when he burst onto the scene, those games against Bayern in the Champions League, where we still lost, by the way, but he was just electric. He had there's something about this guy. So good going forward, rubbish going back, but he's so raw, so talented. He's going to be one of the best right-backs in the world in the future. Barcelona coming in for him. All of this was going on, and now, I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I think Bellerin, unfortunately, is just not what we need. And like I said, I love the guy, but the reason I bring this up is not only did he have a poor game today, I think we can all agree he was pretty poor today. Cedric has played the last 7 games, I think, for Arsenal. He's been one of our most consistent players, out of position, playing as a left back, and then you're dropping him for Bellerin. The only reason I can think of is that we've got the Europa League on Thursday night, and we're focusing that. I think Arteta has decided that that's the competition we focus on, and he's saving the best players for that, Cedric. And I hope that's true because, yeah, Cedric should be playing ahead of Bellerin. But maybe today it wasn't needed. We were gonna lose anyway, I guess you could say. But it was there. It was there for the taking, potentially. Like I said, they didn't even get into second gear, like a proper motion. Man City were not actually playing that well today. They had an okay game. They got a win. It's what they do. They were there. And maybe if we went all in, maybe if we did play Gabriel instead of Mari, and I mean, Holding was okay today, but maybe David Luiz, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, why not go with the team that is doing well, and consistently getting game time, and why is Smith Rowe getting dropped, and why is Ceballos not coming in when we're playing El Neni in 21? It's just, we're not going to get top 4 with El Neni in midfield. I'm sorry, when Ceballos came on, what a difference. When Smith Rowe came on, what a difference. Saka, good game again from him today. One of the only players that seems to catch the eye even when we're playing badly. He's going to play for City one day, mark my words. I think, if you asked Pep now, would you take Sancho back or would you like Saka? He takes Saka in a heartbeat. I think it's going to happen, and it pains me to say it because he's an Arsenal lad. He's come through the academy. I'd love him to stay at Arsenal for the rest of his career, but it's not going to happen at this rate. He will play for Man City. It's going to happen. And do you know what? Fair play to him. He is such a good player. He was let down today by the service. He wasn't able to get going. And I think mainly down to City's defence, though. My God, Diaz. Oh, Diaz. Is he would you say, okay, and I asked this in my stream, if Man City win the treble, quadruple, they're in everything, they can win everything, I reckon they could do it all, right? If that happens, and Diaz continues this great form, is he up for the Ballon d'Or? I mean, honestly, it sounds mental, right? You're thinking, what? Diaz? Ballon d'Or? Who else? I mean, who else? If City do the quadruple, I would argue it will have to be a City player that wins the Ballon d'Or. Diaz has been their best player. I'm just saying, don't rule it out, okay? He has been that good. He has transformed their team. He's remarkable. And John Stones next to him, he's a new player. Cancelo, I could talk all day about Cancelo. What a player he is. That has to be one of the craziest deals ever. Danilo to Juventus, and they have Cancelo come the other way. I mean, who was behind that? That's just ridiculous. But guys, there isn't really much else to talk about. It wasn't our best game. It wasn't City's best game. It wasn't the best game to watch. It was pretty boring. But City stay top, of course. They've got another 3 points, another win. And Arsenal, unfortunately, could not make use of Tottenham's failures. You know, we could have gone above them with a win today, but that'll come. I honestly believe that Mourinho is not going to be at Tottenham come the summer. I mean, he's done, isn't he? I'm sorry to bring Tottenham into this, but I watched that game as well, the football they play. At least today we lost, but against City, and we played somewhat respectfully. We tried to create. With Tottenham, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm bringing it up. I'm going to get hate for it, but my God, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be asking for Mourinho to be gone straight away. It's just dire, isn't it? But no pun intended. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this Operation Arsenal review of the game today. Up next, we've got Benfica and then, of course, Leicester. Another loss against Leicester. They're looking good at the moment. Hopefully we'll win on Thursday night against Benfica. We have to.